Two small business owners tell the KCBD Investigates team they are out of a combined nearly $18,000. They say they split the cost of a sign to put up in front of their neighboring businesses, then say the sign company cashed their checks but never delivered their sign.
As KCBD News Channel 11's investigative reporter Shaylee Kidwell explains, this isn't the first complaint against the sign company. Shaylee?
That's right, Karen and Abner. Last year, we told you about a restaurant and a church that ordered signs from Jared Castillo, the owner of LED Liquidator. They tell us Castillo cashed their checks but never delivered their signs. Tonight, we've learned of two more people who say Castillo took their money but stopped taking their calls. Todd Danley was born and raised in Seminole and went into business with his dad years ago.
I've been selling crop insurance here for, I think, 23 years now.
And while his business isn't new, this location is. We learned plugging his business address into a phone or car's navigation system doesn't always take you here.
Do you find that it's difficult for people to find your business location?
Right now, yes, I do, because I do not have a sign.
A sign might help, and Danley says he ordered one in 2022.
Big Star called me and wanted to go in on one.
Danley's business neighbor, John Wall with Big Star Electric, says he met the owner of LED Liquidator, Jared Castillo.
One day he popped in here and started talking nice.
Did he seem like a reputable businessman?
Man, he did. He dropped a lot of names of people we knew, and man, we can't go wrong with this guy.
They say Castillo sold them on a double-sided LED sign at a discounted rate of about $18,000.
10% discount, supposed expedite shipping, as long as we paid in full up front.
On August 24th, 2022, Wall and Danley each made a check out to LED Liquidator or Jared Castillo for about $8,900. The expedited shipping, according to this contract, would take 10 to 12 weeks. But they say 12 weeks came and went and still no sign.
Of course, I tried to call him at first with no luck, and then some text messages that, you know, telling him I was concerned, wanted to know what was going on, and, you know, I saw where he had read the text, but no response.
Eventually, they contacted a lawyer.
I guess the advice my lawyer gave me was, you know, you're throwing good money after bad, that you probably won't ever see any of this money.
Discouraging advice for the men who say they either want a sign or their money back.
Man, I'm mad. You know, the guy comes in here and just takes $9,000 out of both of our pockets.
Last year, we reported on the owner of Weekends Barbecue in Plainview. Monty Neal says he paid Castillo nearly $4,000 for a sign he never delivered. Neal says his attorneys gave him similar advice.
Basically, the consensus was that, you know, for the amount of money we paid him for this sign, it was going to be kind of more, it's going to cost us more time and effort to try and get that amount of money back.
Neal signed a contract with Castillo just 2 days after Wall and Danley signed their contract. Neal also filed a police report, but says nothing came of it.
The detective called me and said, you know, this is really going to be a civil matter going forward.
Last year, we also interviewed a member of St. Luke's Church in Lubbock. Tim Reese says they ordered an LED sign from Castillo in April of last year and paid a portion of the nearly $18,000 total up front.
It was a little over $10,000.
Where did the $10,000 come from?
From the parishioners of the church, and that's what hurts me the most.
The rush delivery box is checked on this contract as well, but 9 months later and still no sign.
I think it takes a special kind of person to want to do something like this to a church.
The pastor of St. Luke's did file a police report with the Lubbock Police Department, but no charges have been filed. Danley says his attorney saw our report and notified him that he's not the only one with a complaint against Castillo.
The lawyer had sent me a link to y'all's investigative report, and then that's when I called you.
While we haven't found any charges related to similar allegations in this area, we did find previous embezzlement charges against Castillo in Curry County, New Mexico. According to court documents dated August 19, 2013, Castillo was indicted on 5 counts of embezzlement. He was released on bond but was arrested about a year later on 5 more charges, including fraud, commercial burglary, and larceny. Those charges were later dismissed with prejudice, but he was convicted in 2016 on the embezzlement charges and received 5 years of supervised probation.
Danley says his attorney has sent Castillo a demand letter and he plans to take him to court.
I've pretty well written the money aspect part of it off, you know, and if we can just help others not get in the same situation, that's kind of what I'm after.
Danley says at this point, it's about principle.
When we first learned of the complaints against Castillo last year, we called him. He told us the church's sign was on the way, but then he stopped taking our calls. We went to the business address listed on the LED liquidator contract, but the landlord told us he evicted Castillo months ago. We tried to call Castillo again after we learned about these two businesses in Seminole, but he didn't answer. Karen and Emmer.
Thank you, Shaylee.